What's up, everybody? Welcome to the After Hard Knocks show. We do our reaction to Hard Knocks every single Tuesday, immediately following uh, when it was released. We watch it right away when it's dropped. Then we give our thoughts right here. Hang out with us. If you haven't watched it yet, we'll let you know what happened. If you did watch it, which I think is a good way to do it, then come back, leave your comments, comment right now live if you wish. Um, as always, at least during the Seahawks Hard Knocks, I'd like to say that Seahawks fans have been cool. A lot of cool comments, a lot of stuff. Real ball knowers. I feel like real Seahawk fans commenting. I like that. I feel like this is just a very, very good Hard Knocks.
Good like that.
Um, like obviously it's very, very different. I feel like Hard Knocks has been on a downward trajectory for quite a while, but now that we get a good team, we get a good culture to look at. Everything is good. With that being said, this episode was a little bit of a bummer from start to finish. It was
Boring.
it was a little boring, but it was also just a lot of sad stuff.
Right.
Before we talk about it, I will say two things. One, 50-50 shot that my internet goes out. If I do, no one freak out. I'm just going to switch to my phone. There's already a backup in place. Spectrum is really, really good at their jobs. Two, if you have your fantasy football draft coming up, definitely go to draft.flurrysports.org. I have put hundreds of hours into my draft kit over there. I just did a rankings update. I'm going to have my IDP rankings updated probably tomorrow as well. But we got a bunch of free information there, especially as well as the most realistic mock draft tool in the market. But the rest of the award-winning draft kit's really, really good as well, including my rankings, including a bunch of data, including live ADP, ADP trends, personnel groupings, yada, yada. Even if you're not a fantasy football player, honestly, a lot of really, really good stuff for betting. So definitely go check that out. And you can go check it out for free. So no pressure to spend any money right away. Go check it out. See what's there. Draft.flurrysports.org. Definitely do that. Now, Hard Knocks, like I said, kind of a bummer episode. Like just from a big summary, it started with McDonald talking about his mentor's death, and it ended with the second injury of the fucking episode, season-ending injury of the episode. So, not high vibes coming out of Seattle, I will say. Even though I think the culture is good, I think this is a really good football team. If you're a Seahawks fan watching this episode or watching this Hard Knock so far, I don't know. Are you nervous or no?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be a little bit, right? You have guys who, right? Seattle obviously is not bringing back the same team that they had last year from the Super Bowl, so you need, guys to step up in preseason and play well through training camp. But I mean, to have, even some key contributors, right? Like I wrote Jake Bobo down because I thought that the storyline was going to be about, Jake Bobo, how, does he actually have a shot at, does he have a position on this team or whatever, which I thought was crazy when I wrote it down. I'm like, there's got to be something else. And then it goes immediately to him destroying his knee. So that sucks, right? They're talking about him as the great Dennis Rodman, as as the dirty guy, not dirty, but the junkyard dog who goes in
Right.
and doesn't complain and kind of is one of those glue guys that holds the team together. So yeah, I mean, is it going to be a loss on the stat sheet? No. Is it going to be a loss in the locker room? For sure. And it's another loss. It's a veteran presence in a receiver room, I guess, outside of Cooper Kupp, where they're kind of looking for who's going to come out as that third receiver, fourth receiver. So a lot of youth there that you're going to need some veteran leadership. So yeah, I think the Jake Bobo injury sucks for Seattle.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Seattle trades for a receiver or what they do, because I do think they could use one more. But yeah, Jake Bobo, I mean, I liken him to like the Alan Lazard of the Packers.
Yeah.
Like he's just does the dirty work again. He's not a dirty player, but he does the dirty work. He's a really good blocker. So Seattle obviously wants to be a run first team and win the line of scrimmage, and Jake Bobo's really a big part of that. Obviously, Cooper Kupp's a very good blocker as well, but Bobo is probably the best blocker at wide receiver that they have. It may mean that they play even more 12 personnel than they already were going to. I think they were going to play a lot anyway. But I imagine we see a lot of Elijah Arroyo this year alongside AJ Barner. But yeah, this is a big loss. It's not going to be a headline that moves the needle for most sports fans, but I think everyone watching this who's a Seattle Seahawks fan already knows, like, oh shit, not great.
Right.
And then I mean, the second injury was their second round pick, so that
Right.
sucks.
I wonder with Bobo being hurt, like I wonder how much we're going to see Elijah Arroyo split out this year.
Very well could. Like I think you can move him all around the
Yeah,
lineup there. So like for all the hype that Terrence Ferguson is getting in with the Rams, I think Arroyo can do the exact same thing as a second year tight end with Seattle.
agreed.
So they're both very, very good. But yeah, Arroyo, I think Barner is incredible. So like I
Yeah,
don't see him like losing many snaps to Arroyo. But yeah, if they need a big bodied guy who's willing to throw his head around and block some people, like I think Arroyo probably can do that. So yeah,
yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. The another thing that I wrote down coming off of the, I guess it would be like right the butterfly of Bobo getting hurt is right. It feels like that this editing is setting up for Montori Foster to make this team. It kind of felt
Mhm.
like that before Bobo got injured, but that feels like it's almost a lock at this point, right?
Has to be, and he's performing well. So
Yeah,
by all means, like the weird thing, and this is with every Hard Knocks, where there's all these storylines about these end of the roster, fringe roster players. It's just it's a weird dynamic for the non diehard football fans because there's gonna be a lot of people who know this guy now.
right,
Do I think he's going to be a major contributor? No, but I think he's a decent football player. I don't know how big he is. He seems pretty big, just like looking at him, just watching Hard Knocks and from what I remember again in college. But I imagine he makes the team. One person we haven't heard from, not just Hard Knocks, just period. We haven't heard of Torrey Horton whatsoever,
right. I
and
think that
he's
episode that showed
good.
him, but yeah, he's a great player.
Yeah, so I wonder. Again, different role from Jake Bobo, but I'd like to see more of him or
Yeah.
some of him. I guess I'd like to. Not that I think he has a great story or anything like that. Switching positions a little bit, I believe, but we'll see if we get him over the next couple of weeks of Hard Knocks in a
The
thin receiving core already.
the thing that I get why they do it to get like a personal feel with the players. I don't know. I'm not into like them showing like the parents and the girlfriends and the wives in the stands. I could do without that.
No, yeah, no, it would have to be pretty significant for me to care about that. Um, I will say for the most part, I think I agree with that. If it was a situation like I'm not sure, I mean, you've kind of missed this past preseason week because you're traveling. Did you see the native guy for the Cowboys who sold
Mm-mm.
out like, oh, so he's indigenous, and there's like a full section there of just like whatever tribe just rooting him on. So he was massive. They go back into the locker room against a guy who may not even make the team. He broke down the Cowboys. He gave a speech to the team because they had him give a speech, which was actually really, really cool.
Yeah.
Um, if that was flipped and that was the Hard Knock situation, and we showed like that section, like
Yeah.
that's fine. I feel like the injury again, they didn't show the family, but it was the phone call and stuff like that. I think that's cool. That really
Right.
humanized him, honestly, because it sounded like his kid on the other end of the phone
Right.
potentially as well. Like Foster's dad, I don't know if I care.
Yeah, like I get it. Again, I get the reason for it. It's, right, get some show some human shows that there's like, there's rooting interest in this guy making the team. Obviously, with your family, right, and kind of gives the audience a little bit of even more reason to root for him. But again, like just cutting to them after every play, that's fine. I get why they do it. It's a small nitpick by me, but I don't know. I could do without it.
I could do without it too, and maybe it's an unfair read, but my read on his dad too, who like I think I like
Yeah.
him. I think he's cool. I feel like he's going to be the guy who next week shows up in his own merch.
Oh, I hope so.
You know what I mean? Like a LeVar Ball situation. He's just
Yeah,
trying to he wants as much camera time as possible,
for
and then
sure.
he's going to try to sell some merch.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be funny.
Yeah, I'm down with it, but yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like he is enjoying that he's not the star of the show, but he probably does think he is the star of the show.
Yeah, a good ancillary character. Um, the I didn't have much written down for this one. I had, I guess, the Trayvon Diggs thing we can hit on real quick. I had two things written down there. John Schneider saying he's from De Pere. Shout out to Pere. That's my hometown.
Mhm.
So then Trayvon Diggs like basically saying that he couldn't play last year in Green Bay, and I get why Green Bay signed him. They were, extremely thin at corner, but I mean, what kind of scouting went into Trayvon Diggs to bring him in, even though he couldn't play football?
I mean, yeah, Packers certainly needed cornerback help. There's better people out there who were healthy.
Yeah,
So, yeah, and I think it showed in his play too. He definitely was not healthy.
yeah,
For the Seahawks, I mean, we talked about the Tyrion Arnold thing, which is just a great signing. Trayvon Diggs, I guess I don't know the number off the top of my head. I imagine it's like a vet minimum or at least close to it. This is an all upside signing.
for sure.
Even when he was like at the top of his game, I thought he was overrated. I'm sure we talked about it on the show a little bit,
Mm,
but compared to just most
right.
cornerback, he probably should start for a football team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he
So
has
yeah,
experience going against top guys too, which is kind of indispensable, right?
mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. I won't rehash it again, but I'm curious on the scouting that went into this. Is coming obviously coming from a Packers perspective. Like, what's the scouting to bring Trayvon Diggs in? Like, yeah, he had it at one point, but him saying that he couldn't play, and now I guess this is kind of to like all the Packer fans who are like, why didn't he play? Why didn't he resign? Because he couldn't play,
Yeah, yeah. Well, like, what was the workout when he was brought in at the
right?
end of the year to just see if he could play, see what's going on? Like, it felt like it was just, hey, Micah, can this guy play? Yeah, okay, let's sign him, and that's it.
Right. Yeah.
Which
I don't.
probably is not even a simplified version of what happened. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's especially for a team like the Packers, who usually are very sensitive to injuries. That's odd.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we've seen from Hard Knocks like how much of a look they take a look at these players. Like they've watched every bit of film, they're calling everybody, so they knew injuries. There's no way you could hide injuries. There just isn't.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to make this a Packer show, but yeah, that was just something that clicked in my head. Like, why the fuck would whatever?
Well, so bridging the gap between Packers and Seahawks, John Schneider, like you said, talked about the pier. I like Three Amigos. I think that's a great movie. That was my nightmare. Like John Schneider does seem like the person who does movie quotes all the time.
Mm.
That's terrible to be around.
Yep. Yeah, I've never seen it. If I was, I wouldn't have gotten that right. But yeah, it's tough when it's a really awkward spot when someone's trying to make a pop culture reference to you that you don't understand, and they're sitting there waiting with a big smile on their face, trying to get you to agree with the comment that they're making.
Right. And he just keeps doing more quotes from the movie. It's like,
Right.
brother, he does not know what you're talking about.
Cor-
And the person doing it, by the way, is your boss. So you have to
Correct.
act like, oh, this is a fun thing that we're doing right now.
Mhm. Yeah. 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 I don't know. Yeah. I get it. Like, John Schneider is. I like that he's doing this in a way where he's not like not like a buttoned up guy who's like, don't talk to me, I'm only talking to coaches or whatever. I like that he's joking around with it. It's just obviously not he made the wrong joke, made the wrong
Yeah.
made the wrong talking point.
Yeah. This isn't a knock on John. I mean, it's a little bit of a knock on John Schneider, but I love him. I rank him at the worst top three GM in the
Yeah, for
NFL.
sure.
Um, and I think he's very good at his job, and I like that he's a normal human. That being
Hmm.
said, he can be kind of an annoying human. So,
Right. Yep. Yep, I
you
get
know,
it.
would I take him over most people in the NFL, most front office people? Yes. I don't think he's a jackass with something stuck up his ass. So I do like, and he knows ball and likes ball, which is
Absolutely. That's what you
my
need.
number. Yeah, my number one thing. We got a Quinn 92 song in this. I like
Yeah,
that.
we did.
Not that it's a great one, but it's a vibe. Hoopla,
Uh,
that was good.
what I had during joint practices too. Um, I love seeing like we haven't really seen it much. I love seeing McDonald like screaming at the players.
Yes, I wrote that thing down too. Just seeing him against another team brought it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just chewing him out. We've seen this entire time he's been the father figure of the team, the
Yeah.
mentor, the cool, calm, under control guy. And yeah, it's good that he got on their ass for one, but two, like just being around defensive coordinators a lot. The exact I've seen every defensive coordinator react the exact same way when there's a
Yeah.
run up the middle for a touchdown. Everyone
Yeah.
does the exact same thing. So
Yep.
every level, it's good to see that he was just pissed off which is good.
Right. Kind of in that vein a little bit. It was just a little moment there. Leonard Williams went up to him and said, "Hey, what do we need to do to get the guys going?"
Yep.
That's it's kind of cool, right? Because you think of Leonard Williams as like the veteran guy, and the guy who feels like he can manufacture motivation by himself. But to see him get that a little bit of mentorship from McDonald is kind of a cool thing too for Leonard Williams, who's seen everything in the NFL.
I wrote that down as well. I mean, there's a reason why he's a team captain. That's exactly what it is. So he's the coach on the field. That's why you have veterans on your team. We've seen it last year with the in-season Hard Knocks, I believe it was. Whenever we got to look at the Steelers, it was Hayward with Tomlin. Obviously, heading into halftime, I remember Hayward's like, "Hey, just let me know what you want me to say to the guys." Like, that is what you need in any organization, any team, whether it be sports or not. But there's a reason there's captains meetings. A coach
Hmm.
meets with the captains to dictate what they need to do, what they need to exemplify, what they need to do, say and lead by example, all of that, for the rest of the team. It can't be the coach coaching the 60th person on the roster right now, especially when they're not even going to make that team.
Right.
So that's why the captain's got to do that. And, we
It-
talk about any other business. If you have a team for your company or whatever, there needs to be heads of department. And then,
yeah, for
the
sure.
CEO talks about the heads of department, and then they lead their specific team. So like, that's the way a good team works. And those guys should go to the boss, like Leonard Williams said there, where it's like, "Hey, give me what you need me to say. I'll be the bad guy here."
Right. Right. Yeah, and I mean in a vacuum too, it feels like that's a coach's thing to do. Like the coach is the one who needs to get everyone going. But in Leonard Williams' case, right, it feels like players may respond more to him, right, because they're in a very
100%.
relatable situation. Both Blake and Leonard Williams are going through the exact same thing, doing the exact same thing, listening to the exact same thing from a coach. So to hear that from a peer rather than a superior, it probably does a little bit more work.
100%. Yeah, that's the exact word, is their peer. It's their
Hmm.
senior, so it's still respected. There's still levels of authority, but he's their peer. If McDonald chews someone's ass out at some point, they're just going to be like, "Hey, fuck you. You don't understand. You're
Right.
not the one getting hit in the mouth out there." And Leonard
Right. Yeah.
Williams, you can't say that to him.
Right. You're not practicing in 95-degree weather.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I've seen that happen a million times. Other things. So yeah, those are the two biggest things I wrote down, which you just brought up. The Jake Bobo injury, that sucked.
Sucks.
It really sucks. It, like, we don't need to go deeper into it really, but just seeing how everyone reacted tells you exactly what he meant to that football team.
Yeah, agreed. It also sucks in the sense of we lose a little bit of content for fantasy football. I feel like fantasy football, Jake Bobo usually goes like through a 3-week stretch where he catches 2 touchdowns, and we're talking about him as a waiver wire ad.
I know. Seahawks need to trade for like Andre Yosavash or something.
Right.
Like, he feels like he could fit that role because he's going to do it
Agreed.
anyway.
Yeah.
Someone like that. But yeah, it's a real bummer. That stinks.
It does suck. To your point, though, right? You can see how together the team is, right? When a guy who's right, not the star, but as we talked about off the top, is the glue guy. When someone goes down, that sucks for a locker room, man.
It does. It's a different situation than what we heard from in Vegas. I'm not sure if you heard about the entire situation when Genti got hurt, how that was
Hmm.
reported. They did a
Yeah.
prayer circle.
Yeah.
Like, everyone supposedly was reacting in the same way that when Teddy Bridgewater, his knee blew up and everyone was puking and they canceled practice. They essentially did the same thing. And then people are leaking it's an ACL. Brother sprained his ankle. So I'm not sure what's going on down there. I hate that.
Yeah.
The rookie showcase. It certainly has turned into just karaoke hour, which I don't love.
Yeah. Yeah, I wrote down not the greatest rookie showcase. They also didn't say that also didn't have the rookies go up there and talk about their signing bonus, which is always fun.
True.
But I wrote down Uso. I mean, he was the best one of that just because he played guitar. I mean, he only played like 3 chords, but
Yeah.
this is just karaoke. Like, someone's got to be more creative, man.
Yeah, like, I don't know what to do. You got to do something different. Like,
Right.
just
Or if
go
you're
out there and sing loudly at whatever
right,
funny song you got. I don't know.
if you're gonna sing, you gotta make it sweet. Like remember, Aiden Hutchinson did Billie Jean. That was awesome. You need to do something like that if you're gonna sing.
It was good. That one guy did sing Mary Jane by Rick James. That was good.
Yeah,
I'm not am I choppy
I
or is it just you right now, by the way? Do I look okay?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Everything looks good on my end.
Cool. Okay. Continue. Sorry to cut you
Um,
off.
no, that's right. The one thing that always makes me chuckle when they do the rookie showcases is I love when like guys are singing and then like the whole team joins in on them singing, or when
Mhm.
guys suck or throwing napkins and apples and shit at them. I laugh every single time when both of those things happen.
And I completely agree. And they showed like the throwing of stuff a little bit, but that's the stuff they should
Yeah,
have leaned into, I feel like.
agreed.
So I don't know if we have to critique this year's Hard Knocks, I feel like that is a critique. But still, again, this isn't the greatest episode. If you're watching one episode, this isn't the one episode to watch. But overall, I think it's still good. And this Hard Knocks in general has still been very, very
Yeah.
good. Like this doesn't
It,
leave. We've criticized a lot this episode more than the rest of the series. This doesn't leave a sour taste in my mouth.
mm-mm. Yeah, this one I think they, again, this is a team without very many huge personalities. It's a team without very many storylines. It's a team that's just a good team. So it's hard to manufacture any kind of drama or any kind of, you
Mm-hmm.
know, characters. I guess that's not the right term, but any kind of characters on this team. But yeah, I feel like I was a little disappointed. I feel like the rookie showcase is always like a staple, at least 20-minute segment of the show, and it felt like this one was kind of rushed together and it wasn't great. But again, to the
Mm-hmm.
point, they're not great personalities. It's just guys working towards a goal. So I'm fine in that regard.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I feel like we can lean more into Drew Lock because he's a weirdo.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, remember when he was with Denver, he's like rapping on the bench to Young Jeezy, I think.
Gee, yeah.
But yeah, like he's a weird dude. We got a little bit of it with him and Sam Darnold going to get cowboy hats, which I thought was funny. But
Hmm.
it seems set up for the show. If it's not, whatever. I don't really care. It was still funny. But we need more Drew Lock. We need more. I don't know. There's more
That is
weirdos on this team. We haven't got Zabel at all. Give me some of him.
Yeah, he's a yeah, yeah. Just the hat segment there. Hard Knocks has gone into that in the past, where it's like the guys go out to I guess whatever preseason game they're on, and they do way too long of a segment on that. Usually, this one was only
Yeah.
like 5 minutes. I thought it was great.
Yeah, lengthwise, perfect. Yeah, short and
Yeah,
sweet. We're out on the town. We're in Nashville. What are we gonna do in
yeah.
Nashville? We're gonna go get a cowboy hat. Isn't that funny? Yes, it is. It's good. Um, barbecue isn't the first thing I think about in Nashville either. By the way, maybe I'm wrong with that. Am I wrong?
I don't know. Well, do you have a better answer than barbecue?
No, but like if we're saying if we're associating things with Nashville,
I guess country
because
music.
he's right. He said something like the narrator said something like, when we're talking about Nashville, we got to get barbecue. I'm like,
Yeah,
I've never heard of anyone going to Nashville and be like, oh, god damn, that barbecue is good. You could do the hot chicken. That's
yeah.
Nashville.
That's better.
But
I
yeah,
was
I don't
in
know.
I was in Chattanooga this past weekend, and I love like French dip sandwiches. They had a pork brisket French dip, which was not it was pretty good.
That does sound good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess you were not that far away from what
yeah,
was going on here. Chattanooga, good, by the way.
yeah. All right, yeah. I mean, I had a whole flight situation, but I spent
Oh,
about
really?
24 hours there and went bar hopping and went to the concert. Not many NFL fans in Chattanooga. A lot more Tennessee Volunteers, Georgia, and Alabama fans than Titans fans.
That's fair. Once Titans are good, that'll change, but it's been a
Right.
bit,
There
obviously.
was one of the bartenders. He was a Falcon fan. Where Kyle pitched jersey, so I was talking football with him for a little bit, which was fun.
Interesting. I mean, I guess it's not close. I was gonna say it's not that far, but I guess it kind of is far.
I think it's a 2 hour drive from Atlanta to Chattanooga.
Really? Okay, that's closer than I thought.
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
feel like Green Bay.
Well, I feel like he could have picked a better player, but that's fine.
Yeah. Well,
Um, I didn't really write much else down from this episode. Do you got anything else? It
um,
really was pretty slow.
I guess just to touch on the like I guess the preseason game. I mean, Seattle playing against Tennessee starters, the second unit was, kind of having their way. I know it's preseason and there's not much to take, but I think it just kind of goes to show like Seattle's pretty deep.
Mhm.
We talk about injuries. The guy goes down. Feels like they have guys who can fill in and not miss too many steps. Um, and then the only other thing that I had is they were sitting out in that beer garden for the rookie showcase. Beer gardens rock. I love sitting in a beer garden in the summer.
Incredible. Yeah, we're
Yep.
blessed here, obviously, in Wisconsin. We got plenty of them. But yeah,
Yep.
beer gardens are elite if you get a good one.
Yep.
Um, just bringing up the stats from that game because we might as well just take a look at what went on. To your point, most of the starters, if not all the starters, did not play. Um, but Elijah Arroyo, like we talked about, 2 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. So he put together a nice performance. Montori Foster had just the 1 for 24, but obviously, like they showed in it, he basically had a touchdown. He just got taken off the board.
Yeah.
Um, Otherwise, running backs, there's really nothing to take away. Jacardi or Wright got 8 for 81 and a touchdown, but I don't think it means anything. Had a big
60 of that
run in
came
that
on one
game.
play. Yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. And then Milrow, 6 for 11, 52 yards, 2 interceptions. Like this is, I mean, the talking point I would assume from Seattle sports radio and stuff like that. You see that game, I would say for sure one of the interceptions was on Milrow, probably not the other one, but regardless, he didn't play very good. Has he done enough to prove he should be the quarterback too, or do they have to keep 3 quarterbacks?
I think they have to keep 3 quarterbacks, right? I think Drew Lock is a very good quarterback too, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's been there for a couple of years now. He's been in the NFL for it feels like almost 10 years, maybe not that many, maybe about 6 to 7 years. Um, but he feels like a great backup quarterback. But again, they spent some quality draft capital on Jalen Milrow. He's an athlete. He's a player. I talked about this last week. He feels like Justin Fields-esque, where he's an athlete. You know that he's a football player. It's just is he a quarterback? I don't know. But if he's not a quarterback, what is he? He's not. Doesn't feel big enough to be a receiver. Can he? Whatever it is for a running back, he's not big enough to be a tight end. It's just that's a player, that's an athlete that you don't want to lose.
Yeah, I think there's no way they cut Milrow. Now, if he doesn't grow and we have the exact same situation next season, then it's
Right.
like, okay, I don't know. I think he's safe. And then
What's the
I
I'm
think
sorry.
I think Locke does make the roster as quarterback too. But I think they're probably going to talk about it.
I agree. What's the bar for, because he's not going to get much development rep, right? If he's going to be QB3 moving forward, what's the bar
Mhm.
to say I can really tell that you've developed if we're sitting here at this time next year?
Yeah, I mean, there's very little you can see in practice. So it's going to be
Right.
we're going to be in the same situation, but I will say um there is a real benefit to keeping him around, and that he can mimic a lot of mobile quarterbacks in practice, right? He's going to lead the
Yeah.
scout team if they face Lamar Jackson, if they face insert, mobile running
Malik
back here.
Willis.
So I think that is a very big weapon because it's very hard to remember when Lamar Jackson was at his peak, and I believe
Yeah.
that peak is gone, but maybe he's still there. But whenever they play anyone plays the Ravens, they say he's so much faster than what we thought in practice and blah.
Hmm.
I don't think Lamar's faster than Milrow. He's a better player.
Yeah.
I don't think he's faster than Milrow. So I think Seattle actually gets the perfect sort of mimic in practice, right? Like they get the exact scout that they need, which is huge for this defense. And that's worthwhile to keep him around regardless, especially with the new quarterback rule. I think we talked about that last week. Um,
Yep.
every team really can keep 3 quarterbacks around now, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah, and then I guess through Milrow's point of view, like when's the point where it's like, hey man, if we're at this point next year, it's like, hey, I'm going to my 3rd year doing this. Like when am I going to get a shot?
I know. I know he can't really say much though when he doesn't play well.
Right.
So that stinks. And I just decided to look this up right now, but Torrey Horton hasn't practiced. He's been hurt apparently.
Oh.
So that is why we haven't seen much of him. But McDonald supposedly has been keeping what that injury is private, so we don't really know what's going on, which kind of stinks.
Yeah.
But if he can't start the season, and now they don't have Jake Bobo, again, that's a thin receiving room.
Yeah, it'd be Montori, Foster. I guess Ricky White's there. I know he's not much. He was all right in college, but not much else.
No, no. Anthony Hankerson, Cody White, I think was on the team last year. Velas Jones is there. Obviously Rashid
Oh,
Shaheed. We haven't seen him in Hard
yeah,
Knocks whatsoever. Um, yeah, but still, there's a top three, and then
right. It falls off a cliff.
it really does. So it would be nice for them to
Well,
trade for somebody, bring one of these players who get cut in. We'll see though.
I guess the skill positions in general too, right? If we're not starting with Charbonnet, how much trust do you put into Jadarian Price right away? And
Hmm.
then after that, it's kind of like just grab any running back that we have on our roster.
And Price has been banged up a little bit too, so it's
Right. I'm keen to Emmanuel Wilson. Just watching him in Green Bay, I think he's a good player. But
mhm.
everything I've been reading, he's not even the next guy up.
No, it's like Holani or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen much of Emmanuel Wilson or heard much in terms of, to your point, in practice. But yeah, from what we saw in Green Bay, I don't think he's an outstanding all around running back, but I think he can run the ball really damn good.
He's capable. I mean, I think he had the highest rushing game for the Green Bay last year.
Is that true? That's probably right.
I think when they killed the Vikings, I think Emmanuel Wilson went for like 120, 130, 140, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he can
I think
play.
Jacobs was
Yeah, he's fine. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I guess the theme of today's Hard Knocks was lost, whether it be McDonald. I keep saying McDaniel. McDonald's mentor, whether it be the game, whether it be the 2 season-ending injuries. But yeah, we talk about now these other injuries that pile on. That Horton, who knows how long he's out for. Price is banged up. I think he's going to play week 1. I think he's fine, but don't know. Charbonnet, I assume Seattle has a pretty good idea, but all that's been publicly
yeah,
leaked out about that is that they don't know when he's coming back yet.
right.
So, man, reigning champs, you start against New England right away. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to stay atop the mountain this year.
For sure. Yeah, be a lot of teams going for it. But again, I mean, we're talking about all these injuries. Defense is still fucking killer.
Yes. Yes. Losing Bud Clark was a bummer in this episode,
Sucks.
but
Yeah.
yeah, the defense is very, very good. And then they just brought in 2 veteran cornerbacks. And if they pan out whatsoever, if one of them pans out, this defense should be scary. Should be very good.
Yeah.
There's some really good defensive units now in the NFL. Houston, Rams, Seattle, Broncos.
Denver.
So yeah, I think they're right there. They're right up there with them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Philadelphia's not bad.
Philadelphia is great. Yeah, there's some very good teams. I think Ravens are slept on. They'll still be very good.
Yeah, Green Bay's not horrible either.
No, Green Bay's okay. Micah says they're top 5, so might as well listen to him. Or maybe he said top 3. Chargers are pretty good. So yeah, there's a lot of very good defenses. We'll see what happens.
And we're in that weird. I think I talked about it last year. We're in that kind of that feels like that weird transition period where we're losing all these Hall of Fame quarterbacks. We went from just mega offense to now it kind of feels like mega defense.
This whole for sure. And people are getting back to the running game because the defenses are so scary and linebackers have gotten smaller, honestly. So now they can run the ball a
Yeah.
little bit. Quarterback this year across the league is very interesting. Just because that draft class is coming up.
Yeah.
If it's as good as people say and everyone's like, hey, we could have 7 quarterbacks go in the first round. Someone has to draft them. So
Right.
there's like, if you list the names now, we're like confident of 4 teams that need a quarterback, maybe 5.
Right. It feels like there's like 4 teams that need a quarterback, like 6 teams that have like, yeah, we're guaranteed we have, he's Hall of Fame trajectory quarterback, and then 22 teams that are like, yeah, we have a guy, but can we get better? Certainly.
And let's just talk about Seattle. Like going into last year, everyone's like Sam Darnold, no idea if he's any good. He wins the Super Bowl, clearly good enough, and he played
Mhm.
very, very well. Um, I think he's earned the respect from most people, but let's just say he goes back, has a bad year.
Right.
If Seattle has everything else in place, why wouldn't they be one of those teams that drafts a quarterback?
Right.
So, I mean,
Well,
things get very interesting.
yeah. Yeah. Unless I mean that's the Milrow shot, right?
Maybe, maybe, but if he doesn't get any better whatsoever,
Right.
because you got to protect the fucking football.
Yep.
That's what he doesn't play an ounce like Sam Darnold. And that's not to say that's
Correct. The
bad.
opposites.
Right. So like yeah, if Darnold gets hurt, they have to go to Drew Lock because they have to keep the offense the same.
Right. It's an interesting look though, because it's not like we haven't seen teams switch the offense in the past, right? This is to like a much lower degree, but I mean, think back to Joe Flacco, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously changing it on a dime, right?
Yeah.
Usually there's a very well established offensive coordinator in place to do it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have to
Even
be that, but we'll see.
yeah, he's not a runner, but even a little bit toward like when Dallas went from Romo to Prescott, the offense changed a little bit.
It did. It was still a pocket quarterback at least though.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I mean it's so different. Milrow doesn't play anything like Darnold.
Yeah. Right.
Like the only thing that could be more different is if he was a lefty as well then, which I don't think he is.
I I think I'm in. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I don't really have strong thoughts. I got respect for Sam Darnold. I think it's cool. Won, back to back seasons, 14 wins. I also love that Minnesota got rid of him and then he goes and wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I think that he's probably better than what the consensus thinks he is. But if he's my starting quarterback, am I 100% sure that fuck, I have an incredible quarterback? Probably not. I probably if I'm ranking him, I'd probably put him that I don't know 9 to 13 range. Maybe that's a little high.
Yeah, I think I'd put him lower, but I think I'd put him like a spot above Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff has
Yeah.
very, very obvious weaknesses that Sam Darnold
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily have. But for both of them, if either of them get pressure, they're fucked.
Right. I know, but again, like, what's the difference of the ninth best quarterback to the 17th best quarterback in the NFL
There
right
is
now? There's not much.
I mean, I find there's some very, very huge issues with the quarterbacks we consider elite anyway. Like I think the quarterback
Right. For
position,
sure.
if you listen to certain talking heads, quarterback position's never been deeper, never been better. I think it's never been worse. I think
I agree.
like physically, sure, they can do anything. Mentally, like I just don't think they read the game and know the game as well. It just there's no
Yeah.
there's no way you can tell me they do because almost every defense now just plays a two shell high. That's why we're running the ball again. But if
Right.
they're doing that, we should be able to get dink and dunks all day because it's open every play.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. You should be able to hit down the sideline outside the numbers. Right. It just I agree with you. It felt like 10 years ago when we had all these Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Like, fuck, Rogers is a killer, Brady's a killer, Manning's a killer, even Eli, he's somewhat of a killer, Roethlisberger's a killer,
Yeah.
Rivers, all these guys are killers. And you look and you're like, yeah, Mahomes is a killer, Josh Allen's a killer, Lamar, Joe Burrow, and that's about it.
And we still criticize those guys because
Right.
people are still like, oh, Burrow's always hurt and does whatever. Lamar can't win a big game.
Right.
But if that's true, then how is the quarterback position better?
Correct.
I don't know. I think quarterback has never been less important.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of people are into the quality over quantity at the quarterback position right now, or the quantity over quality at the quarterback position right now.
Yeah, I don't get it. But if this new class that comes in is as good as advertised, it, I said I don't know who's going to take these quarterbacks, but maybe that means everyone's on board. Everyone has a
Right.
seat at the table at the current moment. We'll see.
Yeah. I should say Stafford's a killer too. I think he's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. He's as talented of a thrower as pretty much anyone. I still think Rodgers can throw it better, but then he's smart as hell. He takes unneeded risks, but I love him for it.
Yeah. Also, Rodgers is still a killer. Zach, his over under touchdowns. Did you see this?
No.
20 and a half.
Okay, take it. Like,
I took him 25 plus.
yeah, I think that's fine. With
Yeah.
McCarthy, with now Pittman there as well as a receiver. Yeah, take it. I think that's completely fine.
He's got two 6'4", 230-pound receivers, and it's Aaron Rodgers, and you tell me he's not going to throw for 20 touchdowns?
Yeah, and Washington's going to get a couple touchdowns as well. He's going to throw it to his running backs.
He might throw for 20 in the first 5 games of the year.
Yeah. And Bengals defense, I guess, is a little bit better, but the defenses in the division overall have gone down. The Browns are now not good.
Correct.
So give me that. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's completely fine. But yeah, him and McCarthy and everybody else there, I just assume either Randall Cobb or Alan Lazard will end up on that team at some point. Maybe Big Bob Tonyan. I think he is there, actually.
I think he is at Pittsburgh. Yeah.
He's not getting cut. So yeah, we'll 20 and a half, you said?
20 and a half. It was 20 and a half a week and a half ago.
Yeah, you're just betting on health. There's no way that if he plays every game, yeah, he's 25.
It's easy.
Yeah. What did he get last year?
Yeah, I think 24 maybe.
Let's see.
I think the only years he's been under 20 is when he's been hurt.
I would assume that's right. Because yeah, I mean he's usually in the 30s and stuff. It's loading right now, but yeah, across the league, there's so many opportunities. I'd be interested to see what Darnold's stats are as well, because I think he can throw a bunch. So Rodgers he got 24 last year. There's no way the passing offense is worse.
Correct.
Okay, that feels weird. That feels like a weird number. Even with the Jets, he got 28.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the last time he got under 20, excluding the Jets where he played 4 plays. I assume that's the Anthony Barr season, 2017. He threw for 16 in 7 games.
Yep. That was who was backing up? I don't remember who was backing him up. That wasn't Brett Hundley, was it?
Yeah, it was. I'm looking at it. Shit, Hundley threw for 9. Yeah, Hundley, and then that was Joe Callahan, who I was high on. I like Joe Callahan a lot. Huh. Yeah, what a boy. Brett Hundley, bad at football.
Not good at home. He was horrible at
He was very bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible. Rodgers 34 that year. That feels crazy to me. That feels way older than it should have been. Mm-hmm. He's an old dude.
Agreed.
Anything else before we got out here?
Again, I said I don't want to make this Packer show, but since we brought up Aaron Rodgers, I'll talk about Aaron Rodgers all night. Where I don't know if we ever discussed this in detail. When he came out with the flag going to AC/DC with the Jets, just take that moment alone. That's up there for some of the best NFL TV I've ever watched.
It was so good. It was so good on 9/11, I do believe. It was, God, I'm like, fuck yeah, my MVP is back. Yeah. It was, in a blink of an eye, he was done.
It was horrible. Horrible. 4 plays later.
It's so bad. I kind of had a similar reaction. I remember exactly where I was, and I also remember where I was when he threw that Hail Mary against the Lions. I had the similar reaction, like, what the fuck do I don't move. It was just very weird.
Right. Yeah.
We've had a lot of injuries this year already too. I'm nervous.
Yeah, agreed.
Not a ton of season ending, thank God, and hopefully there isn't a single other season ending injury. But yeah, Seattle, the theme of this episode was injuries and loss and whatever. That's been the case fucking everywhere right now. It's not good.
Right.
And what do we do about it? How are we going to stop injury? And today, everyone's leaking. There's a quarter of fucking NFL players have CTE when they die. Like, what are we doing?
Right. Yeah. It's
bad stat, by the way.
Tough.
Bad stat.
Bad stat.
Because they cherry picked it. They showed Rondell Moore's face in the the numbers they took weren't
Oh,
even
yeah.
from the past like 10 years.
Yeah. I think I've asked you this the last couple shows, maybe not, I don't know. But it kind of feels like everyone is kind of in a somewhat of an agreement where it's like this is kind of the Rams division. The Rams are kind of the best team in the NFL.
Mhm.
Do you have any like after watching, I guess we're 4 episodes in, we have what, 1 or 2 episodes left. Are you any sort of like, yeah, like Seattle's ceiling is division winner, Super Bowl, 12-5. Their floor is 9-7. Do you have any strong thoughts on where they finish, or is it just kind of, yeah, they're the Rams are good, but can they beat the Rams? I don't know.
My thing with them versus the Rams, assuming both teams are as healthy as they can be, right? Like it's what I said about Sam Darnold earlier. If he's pressured, I think he stinks. And Kubiak's
Yeah,
really good at getting, he's really good at designing a good zone run scheme, but he's really good at timing plays and getting the ball out quickly and all that. Am I gone?
Kubiak, Kubiak's not
I know.
there.
I'm saying Kubiak was really good at that.
Oh, I
And
got you,
now a
got you.
new guy, like there's a big, maybe he is just as good, but I just don't believe he is. So, assuming
Yeah,
he's not that good, fucking Miles Garrett, Aaron Donald, uh,
yeah,
Kobe Turner. Like I think Rams can get after Sam Darnold, and if they apply pressure, I think they're done. So,
yeah.
could Seattle win the Super Bowl 100%? I think the road has to go their way. My guess is they finish, and I don't know the betting lines off the top of my head. My guess is they finish with around 10 wins.
I think I would be surprised if they had less than 10 wins.
Sure. Um 49ers are such a hard team to project just in that division just because of the injuries so far and their history and all of that. If they somehow stay healthy, like could the 49ers
Even
beat the Seahawks? I think so. So that's why it's like I think that whole
I,
division's really tough.
I agree with you. And 49ers are an interesting one because they've been just decimated with injuries over the last couple of years, but they've still been a playoff team with injuries. Like Shanahan can manage injuries as good as anyone in the NFL.
100%, but they're also getting older.
Right. That's the issue.
McCaffrey's old, Kittle's old, Trent Williams. If they lose Trent Williams, they're done. So
Yeah. Even Nick Bosa is getting old.
yeah. Fred Warner's up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would. My gut says Seattle's second in that division with 49ers third, but there's a route for the 49ers to win the division too. Would it surprise me? No.
I agree with you. I think, right, Rams, Seattle, 49ers, but I say 49ers third. I'm like, there's no chance San Francisco's going to finish third.
It's we're projecting all these teams without a critical season-ending injury, right? So if we assume all of these teams play as they should, I mean those three are all playoff teams, right? I just don't.
Agreed.
Looking
Yeah,
at the rest of the NFC, I don't think there's that many more teams better than those three. And,
I agree.
they may be, those three are probably top 5 in the NFC.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what it was last year
Right.
to some degree.
Right. Because I don't think there's an NFC South team better. I don't think there's an
Yeah, if I
NFC
had to
North
project
team
it,
better.
yeah, if you put like a gun to my head and say who's NFC playoffs, I'd say 3 are probably coming from the West, 1 from the South. I want to say 2 from the North, but I mean, that means either Philly or Dallas is out of the playoffs. And I think both of them are in the playoffs.
Yeah. I think Philly and Dallas are both in. We could see Philly take a massive step back if they keep trending that direction, maybe. But
Yeah.
if you tell me Lane Johnson plays 17 games, they're a playoff team. They have to be.
Right. Yeah, it just seems weird. Like, right, you break it down. It's Rams, 49ers, Seattle, Philly, Dallas, Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, Carolina, and maybe Minnesota. I mean, that's 10 teams. 3 of those teams aren't making the playoffs.
And I mean, the Bucks could easily make the playoffs
Right.
out of that division. So
And I don't hate where the Saints are going either, but
yeah, I don't hate that either. Could the Redskins or Commanders? I haven't even had that slip up in like multiple years. Not sure what that happened. Could the Commanders turn it back around with Jane Daniels healthy? Like, I don't think so, but maybe.
yeah, we'll see without Larry
And
Tunsil.
could the Giants take a step forward? 100%, I think.
That's right.
I don't know. I forgot Tunsil's out.
Yeah, it's gonna be competitive NFC playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas AFC, I think there's really good teams on top, and I think there's a bigger drop off.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it though. We're finally closing in one preseason game left, 2 weeks until the season, and I'm nervous we're gonna get sloppy week one football like we always do, but I don't know. I'm itching for it. I'm excited college football is back. We need that this week.
Agreed.
Very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. Week 0 is always a fun little teaser for all right, now we're back to football.
And there's good games. Really good games. So
Yeah.
you know, we're starved for football. Watch a lot of college football this week. If you have your fantasy draft, if we just got done doing a college fantasy draft, if you've never done that, I would definitely dip your toe into it. It's really good just to learn about the rookies and stuff like that for next year as well.
It's especially good if you're in dynasty leagues.
Yeah.
Dynasty leagues to get an idea of who guys actually are.
Yeah. Yeah. You hear about from fantasy analysts like, oh, you get to the 4th round, 5th round, and it's like, take a stab at anybody. But if you play college fantasy football, it's like, hey, this guy helped me win a championship last year. Like he was one of the stars of my team.
Right.
Of course I know who he is. So very important for that. But yeah, if you have your regular NFL fantasy draft this weekend, or you're just preparing for it, go to draft.flurrysports.org. Practice how you play. You think LeBron James was dunking on the school for the blind? No, he's training against good players. You think Sam Darnold cut his teeth playing against Pee Wee football teams this offseason? No, he's practicing against good people. So that's why you need to do the mock draft tool. The most realistic, best mock draft tool in the industry. So you're not going to be surprised anymore. Too often people just use the sleeper fantasy tool, the Yahoo fantasy tool, God forbid the ESPN one, where it's like kickers are getting taken in the 7th round just to fill the starting lineup and shit like that. It's just not worth it. And then you're stupid. You're not actually seeing a good look.
I have the number 1 pick in one of my drafts coming up. I just wanted to check out the sleeper and compare it to ours. I took Bijan Robinson with the 1st pick in the mock draft. To show you how bad sleepers is, Jahmyr Gibbs didn't go till the 8th pick in that mock draft.
That's weird. That feels bad.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yep.
And yeah, we ran the numbers on the mock draft tool the other day, or the stream the other day, where it's like 5 kickers are getting taken before like round 11 on these other apps. It's bad. So definitely use our mock draft tool. It's completely free. So definitely go and check that out for sure. And then if you want to buy the rest of the kit, go ahead. And if you don't, share it around. In the mock draft tool, you can share the link with your friends too. So you can all hop in the mock draft together. You can customize all of the CPUs in there as well. You can say, hey, I'm in a league with this guy who's a diehard Seahawks fan. We're going to make team 6 a Seahawks fan. That just means they have a little bit of a bias towards that team. And so if you have a home league as well, it helps prepare for the home league that is usually super unpredictable. All of a sudden, a little bit more predictable. So definitely go check that out. Again, draft.flurrysports.org. Go to flurrysports.org. We got rankings. We got all kinds of fantasy football articles there. More to come very, very soon. And subscribe. And we'll be back next week for another Hard Knocks show. We'll have more streams this week as well for fantasy football. See ya.
Yep. Peace.